Okay, I'm a little confused as to what needs to be done here. I'm trying to put in these trailing arm bushings, and these are an Acura Integra trailing arm bushings for rear disc brake conversion onto my CRX. And I'm reading the directions, and the first thing you need to do is get the dog bones out, which one of them was already out. That wasn't a problem. Then you need to remove the rubber that's on the dog bone, and they say, using a utility knife and a vise. I didn't really want to do that. I've heard of using a hot knife, and I didn't want to do that either. And so what I ended up doing was I used a blowtorch. I had some vice grips, a piece of wood near the hose outside, along with my 3M carbon charcoal respirator mask to prevent me from inhaling any of the fumes, wearing goggles, and I set this sucker on fire. And it took me probably about 5 or 10 minutes under heat, and I think 5 minutes on, and then I used a machete that I heated up in order to remove most of the rubber that was on here. And then by the time it cooled, and then when I heated it up again for another 5 minutes, after I took the knife to it the second time, the rubber had broken down, and the rubber caught fire pretty good too, so I burned a lot of it off. It smoked heavily, and then by then, this part had been so heated up that I could just take the knife or the machete and just run it across, and it would remove just about all of it. And I took some Clorox wipes and wiped them down, and I'll probably take some 320 sandpaper that I have over there and clean them up a little more. They are offset. One is longer than the other, and that needs to be taken into account. I forget which one goes which, but I'll know when I look at the old ones. But that's not really important. What is important is how to get these things in here, and what exactly you're supposed to get in is the question. Because when I read the directions, it says so important notes: do not remove OE, I'm guessing it's original equipment, outer metal shell. The shell is tapered on outside diameter. Make note of which direction the cross pin is installed. Cross pin, I assume, is the dog bone. The pin is offset, yes. Bushing pin removal. Remove rubber bushing and or pin from OE shell. One example method to remove rubber bushing from OE shell is to use a hacksaw blade and cut bushing out. Note, all rubber must be removed from the shell and cleaned to install new bushing. So I think that's my answer right there. You keep the original shell. So it's as if the only thing you're replacing is the rubber with polyurethane. I guess that would be it then. Gosh, how the hell are you supposed to get that all out? That is going to be such a pain. And then it shows you here, removing the rubber from outside diameter of crosspin. I wonder if OD is really outside diameter, because I'm just assuming. There's no definition or legend on here that defines what OD is. Remove outer compensator arm bolt. Only remove 2 mounting bolts and crosspin for hers. Yeah, the OE outer metal shell. So obviously there's no E there. Tapered up OD. May have to call these people up. Remove rubber from OD of crosspin. Outside OD. What the heck is that? Trimming portions. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Grease inside diameter of original equipment. Man, why don't they just spell this stuff out? They've clearly got room. Of OE, outer metal shell, and outside diameter point. Install bushing into shell from the outside inward. The installation method pictured above aids in the installation of bushing. The washers, bolt, and nut may be purchased at your favorite hardware store. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so see if I actually have this right or not. See what you think.